Hey good buddies, what's up and welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Review. I am your good buddy Roger.
And I am your good buddy Brandon.
And this week we are going into a part 2. We had to deal with that Netflix hell.
Good old Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless them, they at least gave us like part 1 and part 2, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not really a part 1, part 2. We're doing the second half, though, of Carole and Tuesday.
Yeah, of Carole and Tuesday.
Which is a very fun show.
Honestly, I would prefer that Netflix gave us the option to just watch it subbed, but they don't do that, and I know that's a common complaint, so we won't beat that drum any longer.
Yeah.
But we got the... Go ahead.
I was just saying, the horse is dead. No reason to keep on.
We got the second part to Carole and Tuesday, so we're gonna maybe amend our scores. Maybe it'll be more samey. From what was the first part, which I believe was the first 12 episodes, and now we had an additional 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So first half, second half really is exactly what it is. But Brandon, do you want to tell them how we're going to review and score this thing?
Well, the way we're going to do this, bad boys, we're going to tell you all about this show, specifically the second part, but I think review-wise, like you said, we're going to kind of grade them as a whole. But we're going to basically tell you about it, and we're going to give you a final review of recommendation. Do we, your good buddies, think you, our good buddies, should check this thing out? The way we're going to get there is we're going to find, at the end, we're going to give it a final review of recommendation. And Roger, if it was straight up boo-boo trash, what would you call that?
I would call it an anime, maybe not.
If it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't great.
Anime.
It was fine. It's average. Nothing wrong with that.
That's an anime, maybe, my guy.
It was actually really good, though.
Dude, Animos definitely is what that would be.
But if it was so good, Roger, if it was so good,
if it was so good, it would be amazing.
It would be indeed. And the way we're going to get there is we got 5 different categories for 2 stars each, a total of 10 stars. That is how math works. That first category, Roger, is
the story and setting.
That second category, Roger,
the characters and development.
That third one, Roger,
that art and animation.
That number 4,
the soundtrack.
And finally, that fifth category, the Good Buddies Wiggle Room, that je ne sais quoi. Roger, what does that mean?
I do not know what.
I don't know what. But yeah, that's how we're going to do it. Let's get right on into it. And we can just go ahead and skip the quick pitch because it's the same as last time.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fun songs and stories.
If you're here and you
whatnot.
haven't seen Carole and Tuesday, the first part, go watch it.
Yeah, check it out. We had some opinions there and we got some opinions here. So let's jump right into the story and setting though. It's the rest of Carole and Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's still them against the world. Now with more characters and drama and friends, and a lot of really good music along the way.
Yep.
There you go.
A whole lot.
We're still on Mars, still in Alba City. Again, same universe as Cowboy Bebop, same city as in the movie. Although I think before all that shit went down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It could be a totally different kind of universe too. It's just I think it's a fun nod.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there weren't any like direct links to it. Although I will say there was like a couple moments in here where I was like, wait, is that a name from Cowboy Bebop? And I was like Googling stuff because someone was like Professor Bluety Blue, and I was like, who's Professor Bluety Blue? It was nobody. But yeah, really fun show. It does it kind of has a nod to Cowboy Bebop. If it's not the exact same universe, it at least takes place in a similarly named city on freaking Mars. So really cool stuff. A lot of great music. I mean, do we really have anything else to say about the story and setting? It's a continuation of part 1.
Yeah, I would say that the stakes are raised in this series as far as problems going on in the Carole and Tuesday world, where I would say the first half was them kind of really breaking out and figuring out their music, and then this half there are more real world stakes, like things happening in the world, a whole lot more with Tuesday's mother.
Yes, yeah, a lot of that. But yeah, I mean, otherwise we still get a lot of really good music and stuff, and we will get to all that in just a second. But do you want to talk about these characters in development, bud?
Sure.
We get some new ones.
Yeah, we get some new ones.
Some fun new ones.
Briefly, of course, there's Carole and Tuesday. You know who they are. They're our main protagonists of the series. They're the 2 young ladies writing all them jams. And boy, do they write a lot of freaking jams.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here.
One thing that I would say to this, and I guess this is the part that I put it, is in the first half of the show, I felt like you really got a sense of like you got to really feel them flesh out some of these songs, and you don't get it as much this time around.
Yeah, there's like a montage or two where it's just like them, like you see them doing stuff and they're clearly working on it and stuff, but like that first scene where they're writing Loneliest Girl was like a really powerful one. And now in this one you get considerably less of that. Yeah, it's not quite the same level of
it's almost this part is almost more about other musicians than it is about Carole and Tuesday.
Yeah, a lot actually. That's something I was going to say is like they introduce a lot of really interesting new characters, and each of them like basically gets an episode or half an episode or so. So folks like Desmond, who's an amazing like non-binary character who is a wonderful singer, kind of has the same thing as Angela's mom going on, where grew up on Mars and something about the atmosphere and their own physiology like messed with their hormones and like got them all wiggly. We've got another cool character, Ezekiel, who's like a rapper, and that's one thing I do want to talk about in characters and development. I am in love with the characters of this show because like we've got this one person who is like non-binary, very like a very emotional, like everything they say and when they sing, it's so gripping and moving and really fascinating stuff. And then we've also got like Ezekiel, who's like this rapper and like he's like so full of anger at certain points in the thing when he's performing and stuff, and it really fascinates me that like the people who made this show, the same folks like managed to bring these two characters to life, these like very disparate things, and make them work so well. I really like the characters in this one. I wish I had more time with them. So that's maybe my one big complaint is I wish I had more.
And maybe this kind of belongs in the story and setting too, but it kind of falls in with what you're saying. I felt like this section of the episodes had a whole lot of pacing issues, and maybe je ne sais quoi is where I'll talk more on that.
Yeah.
But in that regard, I just wanted to bring that up because I felt like this half definitely was not paced as well as the first half. But yeah, are there any characters in particular that you want to talk about from the new artist? Any that you loved other than Desmond, of course?
Desmond's a big one for me. I love Desmond. We also had Ezekiel's really cool, like Ezekiel.
Yeah.
We had a few characters come back in smaller parts. We had one. Is it Flora?
Yeah,
Flora was awesome.
She was mentioned earlier.
Yes, like way earlier as someone who like Gus discovered basically.
Yeah, she was essentially she was Carole's Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, it's like Tuesday is like a big Cyndi Lauper fan. She talks about that in like the first half and a little bit more in this one. And for Carole, like hers was this character named Flora who we do get to see in the show. And we get the backstory, and it's really. Yeah.
It's really also the artist that they say that Gus discovered.
Yes. Yeah, so she's really awesome. Has her own issues going on. Again, you get all these different characters and they each kind of get their own little episode, and then it all comes together toward the end in a really satisfying way, I would say. Yeah. It's good stuff, but I mean, I don't think we want to go too deep on any of the characters for fear of spoilers, but yeah, it's really great. Check it out. It's good stuff. We do have one other character that we got to mention. I was telling you earlier, like in the first half, me and my girlfriend were watching, and we were like, episode 8 or 9, and like, why is this show rated M for mature? And then we got that that crazy song that was just nothing but curse words over and over again. And we're like, oh, that's why. And then in this one, you don't even have to wonder why it's rated M for mature, because there's a dude named Toby who every other word out of his mouth is shit. He's just constantly cussing, and he's angry about stuff. He's a producer.
Yeah, he's like a legendary producer.
The legend. I was like, they're looking for a legendary producer. Oh man, is it gonna be Timbaland? Nah, it's this crazy old like.
Yeah, this
first scene, man.
The first scene that you get of him, you're like, holy shit, they just put Uncle Ruckus into this show.
Yeah, he's just swinging in action, screaming, and then go back to his place, and he's got weed everywhere.
Yeah. Like, what is this weird plant?
It's really great. I do love him. He's a bit much. He's a lot to take in, let's say. Yeah. But really fun character. A lot of really fun characters. A whole lot.
So this season 2 completely like where I would say you could probably I keep calling it a season, but that's kind of how Netflix
that's how they put it out.
So if I do that, I apologize. But this part more than the first I'd be like, oh, a parent could watch this and then just filter out a couple of things for for their child to watch with them because it's very enjoyable. But the second half with Toby is if you would be worried about your children hearing curse words, this guy cusses like it's rapid fire. He's like machine gun on it.
3 Sailors and George Carlin. He's going at it.
He goes hard.
Ali style.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I'ma go hard.
It's pretty rough.
Shit. Worst shit. It's the best shit. Number 8 was the best shit.
They're like doing multiple takes, and he's like, that take was shit, but it's the best shit you done so far.
Yeah.
It's such good shit, Ron.
Shitty shit.
Anyway, I think we've said more than enough about Toby, and I'm sorry. Toby. I'm sorry to all the parents if you are listening that you can't show your kids this or that.
Toby, honestly, of this section of episodes, it does appear probably consistently the most of the new characters.
And that is one thing that like it's interesting that they give you so many characters, some of which don't get more than like maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes of screen time, but you get a lot of character development with them. And then Toby shows up, and I don't know anything about him other than he says shit a lot and he likes his tequila and he's from Texas. There you go. That's what I know about Toby. Like, you don't get like any real backstory with him, but he is a very fascinating character, certainly.
Yep.
He's a lot of fun. You want to move on to that there art animation?
Yeah. It
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's the same as the first. I quite liked it.
Yeah.
I will say that and I'll talk more of this in the ramble, but I got a new TV for Christmas.
Yeah, you did.
So I was watching we went and bought the high-end Netflix package where we get it all in the Max HDs. So we were watching it, and now like I definitely noticed more. I was like, wow, some of these faces are kind of like when they're distant or whatever, they're very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I noticed it before.
Yeah, you get a little blobby face.
Overall, I still thought that it was it's smooth, it's vibrant, a whole lot of like the music scenes and stuff like that. They really work to make this an enjoyable viewing experience.
Yeah,
as well as an audio experience.
You do still get some pretty, like, some real smooth moments when folks are dancing or doing something like that. It still works very well. I remember last time when we did this one, I said, I didn't want to give it a full 2 points on the art and animation because I feel like it has to like kind of push it over the edge for that. I still don't think it did, but I still think it's just very good.
Yeah.
It's very clean.
I think I gave it the full 2 because I thought it was just so vibrant. And
it's just very pleasant to look at.
And well, also it brings in too, like they really take a lot of time with these background characters to give them. Like even characters that are not part of the story, they still work to give them personality, and not a whole lot of other shows do that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So, yeah.
All right. How about that music and soundtrack?
It's very good.
It's amazing. I wrote down in my notes, all I have for this one is, are you kidding? It's awesome.
Yeah, you're getting different songs every freaking episode.
It's very good. There are a couple moments where I was like, oh, we're going into another song? Okay. But it was never bad.
Yeah.
It's never bad. It's always so good.
Yeah. And it leads up into one just really amazing song that really puts the whole universe that they had built together. The whole, everything minus, one character, but
sure.
It's
good stuff.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
I'd say one character minus one musician.
Sure. But yeah, man, the whole thing it just really works, man.
Yeah.
It really works. I really can't say anything bad about the music in here. If anything, I would only say that some of the songs I wish they were a little bit longer. And there are actually like longer versions of pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
That you can check out on Spotify or online or whatever. And it's just legit some of the best music I've heard this year.
It's
like
fun.
Not even like in an anime, in any show. Just it's just very good music.
It's really that Spotify, I listen to it all the time.
Keep that on loop.
Yeah.
Such good shit.
It's such good shit. I love
it. There's really not much else to say there. It's just great, the music and sound. So, how about the Je ne sais quoi?
Like I said earlier, I felt like the second half had pacing issues.
Yeah.
And it led to things like where I felt like in the first half, I was connecting with more of these characters. I was connecting with more of these songs. I was connecting more with the world. And then this time around, it just all moved so quickly. And it was also very hard to tell how much time was passing.
Yeah, there's moments where I'm with you on that one. There's moments where it's just like, okay, we're doing this thing, and now there's a montage, and how long has it been? That kind of stuff. You do get a little bit of a time slowdown. Like, you do see, like, the seasons change, for example. Like, we're in winter. Like, there's a Christmas episode straight up. But yeah, there's a lot where, particularly toward the last episode, or like second to last episode, there's stuff that happens that's just like boom, 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 boom. Like, it goes from being like, it doesn't really build to some of these big moments, and in some cases, like really just earth-shattering, oh my god moments. There's not really any build. It just kind of drops them on you.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Again, it's one of those things where I wish there was more time for it. 24 episodes is a lot, and I still feel like they could have done more with more.
And another thing that I would have liked to have seen them do is, so you get Carole or Tuesday having like issues between episode to episode, and I keep yawning.
It's very sleepy right now. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we had to wait for the computer to update. It was a nightmare. But they'll have all these things, these big revelations that come to them, or they discover a new feeling, and I feel like it does not translate too often in the music that they write.
Yeah, you kind of miss.
I know that's a really weird nitpick.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna fault it because they produce really great music for the show, but I felt like story wise, like it would have been cool if they would have been like, I don't know, maybe they did do this and I just didn't pick up on it, where they gave the musicians, here's the beat and the story, this is what just happened.
Right.
Can you write something that sounds a little, that follows this way? Or here are the lyrics, some extra lyrics that I want you to add in to express their feelings in this moment. Because you have Carole finding somebody that she thought she'd lost. Twice, really. And then you have a moment with Tuesday where she has, kind of like her first moment of feeling a certain feeling that we all go through in our life.
Sure.
And I never really felt that in any of the music.
That one in particular with Tuesday was kind of it. I'm not gonna say completely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But there was like a thing that happens, and it's like, okay, I guess I see where this is going. And then it kind of cuts off because, she sees the thing, and it's like, oh, all right.
Yeah. I think the second half hits more cliche beats than the first half does.
Yeah.
But
cliche, I think, might be the word for it. But it's still not, again, it's still
very
never
good.
bad.
Like, I'm not trying, like, I know this is where the bulk of our review was always going to come out. It kind of does with these part twos.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's not bad at all. Like, I would highly recommend, and I think my score will still reflect that I would recommend that you watch this. But yeah, from going from the first season, which I thought was absolutely amazing, couldn't get enough,
to like the second half, it's like
the second half. I was starting to see like the episodes were winding down. I was like, holy.
Yeah, you
holy
see
crap,
the cracks form as we get toward the end, but I still think it comes together well. Yeah, go ahead.
The last thing that I would mention is, and I could see, depending on who you are, taking this either way. Some people don't like this thing, some people do. But it brings in very real world things that we experience.
Yeah. Kind of damn near like ripped from the headlines, you could say.
And it throws them right in your face. And personally, I always thought Carole and Tuesday had a real grounded, realistic story for the most part. It's one of the things I like, and I get that this comes from the real world, and it did not bother me, but I could see somebody feeling like it was ham-fisted or something like that.
Like that stuff the stuff you're referring to, I think it still works in the story.
It does. I think that the pacing pulls from it a little bit. Like it feels the real drama of something like that happening I never truly felt the impact that it had on Carole and Tuesday.
Right. I'm with you. For mine, I've already said everything I needed to. It was just that, like, I wish there was more time for this. I really love these different and really, really different characters they introduce, but they kind of slam, like, a lot of them, like, they slam all their story into, like, one episode.
Yeah.
And I wish it was a little more drawn out.
There's a whole bunch of one-shots.
Yeah, there's a lot of one-shots. Which, I mean, they work. I just wish there was, like, more time for them. That's all. But I think that about rounds it up for us. So let's get on to them scores.
Yeah, let's get to them.
So are we saying this is like for just a second? We're saying this is like overall.
Yeah. This will be our amended score this will be the full score for Carole and Tuesday.
The full shebang. All right.
If you want to know what we thought about the first half, you can go back and listen to that. I will say that I gave it a 9.5.
And I gave it a 9 on 9.
Yeah.
So let's hit it. How do you feel about the story and setting?
I dropped it down to a 1.5.
I went ahead and stayed at 2.
Okay.
I liked it. Characters in development?
1.5.
I dropped mine to 1.5 there. How about the art and animation?
I kept mine at a 2.
I went 1.5 still.
Okay.
Music and sound?
How does it get anything but a 2?
Can't give it anything less than a 2. And the je ne sais quoi?
That je ne sais quoi, I gave it 1.5.
I ran ahead and bumped mine to a 2. That's my wiggle room, and you know what? Despite my nitpicks and my little problems with it, it's just such a good show, and I couldn't put it down. So what's that put you at, big boy?
It drops me from a 9.5 to an 8.5.
I stayed steady at 9. I switched around a couple of the scores, but I'm still at a 9.
Okay. So 8.5 would put me at a very, very high, damn near animazing, but it's a high animos definitely. It's what I'm giving it. You, sir, are at a 9. That is an animazing.
I love this show.
I feel like, like you could add or subtract the 0.5 from mine either way.
I feel like we're pretty close.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't,
you wanted to drop another 0.25 in there somewhere. You wanted to.
A 0.25, no. I actually feel pretty comfortable. Like, normally I think I would feel a little worse about dropping, like a whole point and taking it from one category to the next. But I actually feel pretty comfortable and honest, like, putting it right here. Like, I feel like this is the perfect score for me, in my opinion, my viewing, and how hard I would recommend it to good buddies. If it would have kept on pace with what the first season was doing and just upped a little bit from the first season, the first half was doing, and upped a little bit from there, it could have went into the perfect 10, but
not quite.
The second half got a little sloppier than the first.
A little bit. I feel you.
Yep.
Well, that's our scores. That's how we feel about it. That is still, regardless of how the scores may have changed, that's still high praise from you good buddies. Check out this show if you haven't already. We really think it's worth watching.
Absolutely.
It's good stuff. It's really good stuff.
Great music. It's worth that for if anything.
If only for the music, yeah. But, I mean, there's still a lot to enjoy besides that. So that about does it for us. We need to wrap up the little YouTube bits and then get on to the ramble, yeah?
Yep.
So...
You want to tell them what we're doing next week?
Next week.
I think we already told them before, but...
Oh, yeah. Next week, it's going to be of course, the second annual Good Buddies Best of Awards. We're gonna count down each of our top 5s from like the last year.
Yep.
2019 anime year, and tell you what we thought was the best. And then in the ramble, we might talk a little bit more about some stuff, maybe have some extra goofy stuff like we did before. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely going to have our top, each of ours, like our top best animes of the past year. It's going to be a good time. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
So for everybody checking us out on the YouTube channel on Rapid Kick Media, thank you so much. Please leave us a comment. If you got any questions, you want to tell us what you thought about Carole and Tuesday, tell us what you thought about this awesome
Absolutely.
music.
I would love to know what the good buddies thought.
I really would love to hear it. Let us know. Like, comment, and subscribe. As we always say, ring that bell so we can ding your dong. All the links and stuff. Shout out to our good buddy Haas for the use of our closing theme on the YouTube. The Buddy's Good. That is Thomas Tastes Better on Instagram. Thanks, Haas. Full plugs at the end of the ramble. One more time, shout out to Haas, Thomas Tastes Better on Instagram for our closing theme on the YouTube. And is that about it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. We will see y'all in the ramble. And next time, love ya.
Love you, good buddies.